Hey guys, Is This Anything is a comedy podcast that slams bits, sparks, and improv together like particles in the Large Hadron Collider. This show may contain strong language and mature themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello! Welcome to... Why did I sound old?
It's a wild intro.
Welcome to Hey Guys, Is This Anything? My name is Kez.
And I'm Dingy.
What are the Weebles considered wobbled if they don't fall down? Is that anything?
I think that's a good point.
I think wobbling really only is a fitting adjective if the intent of the object is to fall over, right? Can it be considered wobbling if it will just statistically never fall?
I'm trying to think of something that wobbles but doesn't fall down that isn't a Weeble.
So there's this really niche underground indie movie called Inception. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've heard. I've been around the bend.
Yeah, for sure. Like something like that, I guess.
Why does that wobble? How does that wobble? And there's lots of falling down in that one.
That's a really
the car going off the bridge. I mean, their whole shit is to like have a jolt, and I mean, a good way to do that is falling, I guess.
Damn. Yeah, no, you raised some valid points.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to our cool little comedy podcast that we do because we like to think that we're funny with each other, and sometimes we make each other laugh. I did want to say we picked what I would argue is the second most wild time to start a podcast. The
second most wild time.
The first being like March of 2020 would have been incredible.
Oh, what happened then?
Something happened.
Yeah.
We could discuss it later. It's fine.
Okay.
I forgot that you were in a coma.
Yeah, I guess I was at that time.
Yeah.
Briefly.
I forgot. Yeah.
Only for
you
the
woke
month
up
of
the
March.
day I met you.
Yeah,
just for the month of March, huh?
Yeah, just for the month of March.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which makes it even wilder that you don't understand what happened after that. But that's okay. I wanted to see if you've noticed every time that we have gone to record, something absolutely batshit happens in the world. And
are you referring to Delaware Day? Because I didn't think that was that crazy, but
no, I mean, I thought that one was a pretty substantial thing to happen during our podcast. So I definitely think.
Are you talking about how Biden fucking quit?
How Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. vacated
a fucking quitter.
He's a quitter.
Fucking loser.
He decided to leave us all in the dust. And which obviously opens up a vacuum in the candidacy region of our American political system. Therefore,
Sleepy Joe's going to sleep.
Sleepy Joe's going to sleep, baby. And just he's not dead. Like, I do think we need to make that abundantly clear. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. has not died.
The number of times I've told people that Sleepy Joe took a nap or like went to sleep or whatever, or something along those lines. And then the immediate next response was, did he die? And I was like, no. Sorry. I see how you could, pull that from what I just said. But no, he's not running for president.
He's not running again. And of course,
not even jogging. He's not even slowly walking for president at this point.
He's taking up shop in his rocking chair and just lighting up a big one and just saying, you know what, man, y'all figure this shit out. And you know what? They have been figuring it out. The Democratic left have been using all of their brains and all of their time to determine, who are we going to replace our candidate with?
Gosh, if only there was
Democratic nominee.
Only there was like a second sort of president in line, But I'm not sure if.
I don't think that's a thing.
I think like a vice president sort of. I don't know. That seems silly.
That doesn't sound good to my ears.
It makes me think of Miami Vice, and I don't want Miami Vice to be president. So
Miami Vice should not be president. That's a very valid point.
Miami Vice for president.
So I was thinking, because I was watching a bunch of coverage on, who the pundits and the politicians were speculating would be the new presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. And in absence of a consensus between them, I started to make some calls because I knew that somebody had to take charge. And if it was going to be anyone, it was going to be me. So I started making some calls. I started liaisoning with the right people. And I am thrilled to announce here, right now, on this show, exclusive, exclusive myself and Dingy. You are getting the Hey Guys, Is This Anything power ticket for the Democrats this year, baby. Let's go. Kez and Dingy 2024. We are announcing our candidacy.
USA.
And if you know what's good for you, you're going to fucking vote for us.
You're going to vote for us.
We're going to spend
does
some
that
time
mean I'm
here.
your vice president?
Legally?
Does that mean I'm Mrs. Kez? I'm
That's
Mr.
how it works.
Mr. Kez?
So
I'm the first Dingy?
You would be. So here's the thing. We've established already that vice president feels icky and gross on the tongue and the ears and bad.
Oh, I'll be the nice president.
So
good cop, bad cop, but presidential.
It is. Here's what I was thinking, though. I like nice president a lot. I like where your head's at with that. I was thinking President Jr.
Okay, yeah.
I think is kind of cool. I think having a president and President Jr. really brings a layer of whimsy to
president
the whole
in training.
electoral process. President in training.
I'm an intern. I'm the presidential intern.
Presidential intern rules. Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll workshop that a little bit. I do want to ensure that we do lay out, who's going to be in what role, and then what our policies are. Of course, we have a lot of policies that people care about, and I'm certain that we can bring forth some efforts and some ideas that the entire body of American people, the entire electorate, will be like, yes, we can get behind that. The first big thing that I'm thinking is, of course, like you said, I am one election cycle away from being old enough to run for president.
Yeah.
So it may just be easier logistically that I run for president this cycle, which I realize now saying it out loud, it may sound like I'm not old enough to run for president. And I want to quash those fears, if I may. Look at my fucking birth certificate, you cowards. Do it. You won't. Good luck finding it. Find my birth certificate.
Let's see that. See that.
Do it. Dox me.
Because I love this. Because I think you'd be a great leader. And I like the idea of us both kind of running together.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to do a quick aside here. Because my upstairs neighbor has decided now is the time that they want to run a marathon with their couch. So
incredible.
They're really slamming around up there. I'm sorry for the audio. Two issues. One, I also, if I was to be vice president or president junior, I need to also be at least 35 years old and a natural born U.S. citizen. So, what if we just didn't mention that part?
Yeah.
You know how when you're getting your first sort of real job, you just kind of lie on the applications.
Yeah.
Because honestly, who's going to check that? You got to play the game. And I don't think it's dishonest because if you've been in the job hunt recently, it's an absolute nightmare and no one will even look at you unless you just lie about that shit. So
very true.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I think maybe when I fill out the application to be president junior, presidential intern, we do need to come back to that. I'll just lie and say that I am 35 at least minimum. I'll just in the age field, I'll write minimum 35. And then I'll just lie and say that I am natural. I was born here.
I too am going to lie on my federal candidacy forms for president of the United States. FBI agent listening, write that down. I am, in fact, going to commit fraud on a federal level.
When you put it that way, it sounds bad.
It does sound bad. It does sound bad. However, our friends over at the Supreme Court, friends of the show, the Supreme Court, recently made it that once you're president, it doesn't fucking matter.
Fair point. Yo, once you get it, what are they just gonna pull your president card? No, they can't. You're the president.
Can't. That's my whole spiel. That's my whole spiel is we just have to get elected. As long as we can lie long enough to get in the Oval Office, then they can't fucking touch us, dude.
Literally just need to get across the finish line.
Exactly.
After that point, what are they going to take the prize money back? I don't think so.
Exactly. We'll have already spent it. And by it, I mean the goodwill of the American people.
Because as my first decree as President Jr., I think that we're going to get rid of the Supreme Court because, let's face it, they're doing a bad job and they have been for a while. I'm going to replace them. I'm going to replace them with the Extreme Court. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Dingy, what's the Extreme Court? Well, imagine the Supreme Court and all their very important duties, except everyone has to ride a skateboard. Everyone either smokes or vapes. And there's a fucking half pipe in the Supreme Court building. Dude. Right in the center. Instead of like the whole official law, whatever, you know, when all the people are sitting around and there's a more important, I guess, people at the front talking, there's just a big half pipe and they do skate tricks to determine who gets to, you know, make the laws. Does that sound good?
It does. I do want to say your description of court proceedings and the physical layout of a courtroom is flawless. I think that's a phenomenal way to describe how courts work. Thank you for that. I'm sure there were plenty of people who were confused and needed that clarification.
I'm a man of the people, and I have to kind of, I you know, I can't go out here and give it the whole kit and caboodle, talk it through with all the jargon and whatnot. Because nobody's going to know what any of that means.
No,
but if I make it sound so stupid, because I definitely know the real words for it, if I make it sound so stupid that a child can understand it, I think I'm winning.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think the half pipe is a great addition.
Yeah, we could do a quarter pipe too in smaller buildings, but half pipe for the big one.
Oh, Supreme Court gets, the Extreme Court.
Yeah. Have some damn respect for this country's highest office, please. Third highest office. Which one's the highest office?
So they're all branches, if you can recall.
That's right. So they're all equal. There's 3 of them and they're all equal. But to be honest, Kez, it really doesn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
It really doesn't at the moment, does it? It feels kind of lopsided. So
politics.
I'm hoping that the Extreme Court will be able to help restore some trust and belief in democracy for our beautiful, great country. USA, USA, USA.
Is that our sort of like slogan?
I was actually just about to pivot into that. What would our slogan be? We got to keep it short and sweet, and we got to really persuade the American people. Kez and Diggy 2024 blank.
Kez and Diggy 2024. Get out of my way or see the door. How about that? Does it have to rhyme? Do slogans usually rhyme?
Okay, it doesn't historically. I mean, there have been campaigns that rhymed, but most of them, I would argue, do not. I like where your head is at with it, and I would like them to rhyme if at all possible, because I think, again, we're restoring whimsy. We're restoring a childlike sense of wonder to the electoral
Make America
process.
Whimsical again.
Make America my wife.
My wife.
Dude.
I pulled up a list of political slogans on Wikipedia. Okay. If you want to, maybe we can go through a couple of these, see where everyone else is at right now.
Yeah, no,
see
absolutely.
if we can maybe find some good inspiration.
Some inspiration. Let's call it. Yeah.
So I just realized these aren't specifically for any political candidates. They're just political slogans in general. So wow, some of these are really severe and I kind of don't want to bring them up. Here's a classic. Eat the rich. That's a good one.
Eat the rich. Absolutely.
Yeah, we love Eat the Rich. Give me liberty or give me death, from our boy Patty Henry prior to the American Revolutionary War.
I mean, that sounds like it would take on a very new context in
Yeah.
our current political climate. So maybe not that one.
What about Make Love Not War? That was a classic in the Vietnam War. It's great because it's implying that we make love and not war.
Yeah,
that's the implication of the slogan.
Thank you for explaining it. I think I was lost there up until the end, so that works. If we want to, those are fine. Maybe a little blasé for my taste.
What about piss on pity?
Tell me that's not a real one.
So it is, and that's a slogan that has primarily been deployed in protests of charities that fundraise by portraying disabled people as burdensome and helpless. So I like the message behind it.
It's hard to get to that message simply based on the 3 words that they chose. I would argue. I understand
is kind of tough.
The meaning. It is some mental gymnastics.
We've gone through a couple here. What any of those conjure anything good?
Here's the thing. The last one does lend itself to, some interchangeability that I do believe could be very funny.
Yeah, kiss on kitty.
Oh, you and I picked 2 different words to blank out. Yours was piss. Mine was what can we piss on?
Okay. Well, that's why that's why I'm vice president and you're real president.
I'm sorry, President
Which,
Junior.
by the way, sorry, President Junior, and your title is real president? What if I was joke president and you were, very real, actual real life president of the free world?
Wait, you said joke president? That kind of rules. I'll
be head of the office of jokes.
Yeah, and we don't need a vice president. There's a line of succession as is for a reason. I like joke president because then you can be like the jester that we send abroad to meet with world leaders.
Yeah, I'll be sort of like the Secretary of State, but for comedy.
Yeah,
and so when I'll go in first to a really high stakes meeting, and I'll kind of warm them up. I'll kind of warm, Mr. Putin up a little bit, throw a couple quips here and there, butter him up slightly, and then you come in for the kill.
And just for legal reasons, by kill mean humor, like jokes.
Yeah. Like you come in with the punchline and you fucking clock that bad boy across the face with a joke.
Yeah. All of those things metaphorically.
Yeah, really bust them up.
Really just drive. Nope.
Nailed it. We might need to practice the jokes.
Yeah, I do think that we would have to have like script writers in the same way that that presidents and president juniors have script writers. We would have to employ a writing team. I do think getting Pete Davidson as our chief joke writer would be fun. That's a person of the people, I think.
Yeah,
Who would you have on our joke writing team? Our presidential joke writing
team. Could this be anyone?
It could be anyone. They don't even have to necessarily be a comedian, just somebody who's funny.
All right, that's a really good question. That's a tough one because there's a lot of good ones out there. Austin, I think.
I
haven't met Austin, but when I do, I'll know that it was the right decision. So Austin, you're in. Why don't politicians select their like teams sort of like you did dodgeball in school, where everyone just lines up, and then you have
every person in the United States who's eligible to hold cabinet positions lines up.
And then you have, the Democrats and the Republicans like kind of separated, just standing there, and then each one takes turns choosing people.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Austin's a good one. I can vouch for that. I would like to have our friend Downtown Aaron Brown on the show.
Downtown Aaron Brown would be really good.
I think having another joke writer in that same vein is perfect. We don't need that many. Let's be honest.
We need 3 or 4.
We need to cut down on government spending.
We need to cut down when we're holding the highest office in the nation, which, by the way, White House isn't that tall, so I don't know why we call it that, but why don't we, once we get in there, immediately cut all of the spending and just start from scratch? It'll be kind of rough going for a couple months, but we will absolutely just Well, yeah, because what we're going to do is we're going to get an office and then pull the plug, lit the physical plug that's for the money machine that distributes all the money to everyone. And then we'll slowly go back in and, turn up some sliders, turn up some percentages, and we'll determine from scratch who needs what.
So
teachers will get what the military has as budget now.
Yes, I love.
What if we do a little reversal? What if we swap the military and the educational system?
That'd be incredible. I actually above table. I really want to know what that would look like and how that money would be spent.
I think it's interesting because what we would see is how like every military contractor knows that the military will pay whatever, so they jack up their prices like 9 million%.
For sure.
I'm sure that pencils are going to be really fucking expensive really fast.
Fucking Northrop Grumman #2 pencils.
Yeah, Northrop Grumman is going to buy Dixon, the pencil company, and they're really going to start cranking out some tactical pencils.
Dude. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm clear on your suggestions, your ideas for restructuring government. You want to pull the plug on the U.S. Mint?
Yeah, we'll make it stop for a bit, so we can, because we don't want to keep having money just go to places it shouldn't be going. So if we just stop all the money coming out,
absolutely,
yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, congressional appropriations are certainly important. My question to you is, what happens to all the money that's currently in circulation?
We just keep using it.
Just keep using it. I was thinking we take it all back.
Oh, okay. So when tax season comes around, it's like, oops, you owe us everything.
So we put everyone. So you had said a full restart, and my brain said, cool, for everybody.
Okay, yeah.
So
maybe I wasn't going far enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking everyone turns all their money in. Just
turns it into what?
Just turns it into the government, and the government has all the money, and then we destroy all of it. Everyone's at $0. There's no more debt. We alleviate all debt. We alleviate all money. And then we just, for a while we're reestablishing the system, like you said, a few months, because why would it take longer than that? This is easy baby business. We can
easy baby business.
We can start an economy, the two of us. So everyone goes to the barter system for a couple months. I know, inconvenient, not the best thing in the world, but you'll figure it out. We did it thousands of years ago. We'll do it now. And then once we get everything back up and running with a new currency, I do think that, teachers, I think we need to work on healthcare, I think is an important one. I think that making sure that everybody who wants to legally transition to their fursona is allowed to do that.
We'll put a lot of research into spending into research on how we get people to become anthropomorphic animals.
Exactly, because what is the common thread that binds us all in our hatred for the current political system in America? It's people.
Money. Oh, that too.
It's people with money. So how do we solve that problem? We start
furries with no money.
We give furries no money. We crash the internet because now all of the IT sector has no incentive to keep things running.
We'll get CrowdStrike in as kind of our head of communications.
No, for sure. There's no reason why anything bad could happen having CrowdStrike at the helm.
Yeah.
Also, can we acknowledge what a crazy name for a business that is?
I was actually just thinking about the same thing. Why the fuck are they called CrowdStrike? They make security solutions.
It is a wild name. When I first heard CrowdStrike, when that whole incident went down, I'm like,
you're like, oh God, I hope they're okay.
Did somebody drive into a parade? Like, that's what I imagine when that word is used. And I'm like, you named your business CrowdStrike?
That's insane.
It's pretty.
I'm surprised that they didn't have more oopsies. Hey, I want to talk about, you mentioned a parade for a sec, and we just actually here in town had a little what's happening of the county fair parade thing. And so you always have the political floats coming by. And there was this one, I don't remember the guy's name, but what I do remember is he was running for some local government thing. The only thing I remember, I don't remember his platform. I don't know his party affiliation. I don't know his name. But what I do remember is that he had a hype man just walking around with him and just constantly saying like, this guy's the best. You gotta vote for this guy. And my favorite thing that he said is this guy doesn't miss anyone, because the dude was handing out candy. And then he immediately went back on that, which was weird. He was like, he like completely dropped the whole like hype man act, and then he turned to the guy that was like running for office. He's like, I actually don't know if that's true. And I was like, why would you like, I'm here for just like blurting shit out without thinking, because that's like funny. And saying you won't miss anyone for sure. Like, dude's handing out candy. That's like a fun thing. But then to double back on that and be like, well, I actually don't know if that's true. Maybe you do miss people. To just try to have that dialogue in front of everyone during the middle of a parade was kind of a bold choice.
That is really cool. Can we find that guy and have him on our campaign team?
Yeah, he's going to be our hype man.
He's going to be our head of communications. He's going to be our chief communications guy, because I love the messaging of sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you just aren't aware of what's going on. And I think it's okay to admit that. And I think what that guy did was he showed a very vulnerable side of himself in front of a lot of people. And I have a lot of respect for that.
Do you think that's what politicians need? They need to be more vulnerable? Because everyone's just trying to be a strong man, right? But maybe we just want a soft little gentle guy in office.
So here's the thing. What if you're watching a debate? You're watching a debate, right? And one of the candidates says something just super inflammatory, just goes stone faced, and it's just like, actually, I've changed my mind immediately in this moment about that, because saying it out loud sounds insane. I would have so much respect for that person.
I would love, in a debate, like, actually, you make a really good point, and I think I agree with you on this one.
I'd be like, oh my God, who is this bipartisan queen? I'm obsessed with this. Yes, I actually think. Do you think there are, we know bipartisan for sure. Do you think there's panpartisan? Where you really just see the good
just
in
all
every
of them.
single party.
Yeah.
I think it could exist. I guess you would call them libertarian.
I guess that does kind of exist, huh?
It does kind of encompass a
but
lot.
I feel like
everything.
Libertarian kind of implies that they just kind of hate all the parties, which is a little slightly different than like seeing
true.
the good in all the parties.
I think they adopt the parts of parties that they like and then just conveniently ignore the parts that contradict it from every other party, which is super fine. You're free to do that in this country.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. So I think we've laid out some pretty good points. Obviously, the budget's the biggest thing that we have to work on. And I think that switching the military industrial complex budget with the Department of Education budget's a huge one. I cannot wait personally to see the price of all of these school materials just go to astronomical levels.
Yeah, to the absolute moon.
Wait, so by the transitive property, does that mean I can buy military grade weapons at substantial discounts?
Yes, I think it does actually fully just flip like that. I think because we still need a military to an extent. Yeah. But I think that you can buy like an F-35 for, like, I don't know, 40, 50 grand.
Wait, so if Northrop Grumman's buying Dixon, who is purchasing all of these fucking arms manufacturers? Who in the education
sector?
Scholastic is going to be our
book
main
fair
arms.
people. And instead of book fairs, it'll basically be like trade shows, but at schools. And they'll be being like, look, do you want an M1 Abrams? Because you can get one.
These fucking third graders are just walking through. Oh, God.
Be huge.
Dude, I'm sweating. That's wild.
I like that. I think we would do really good in office.
I think we would. I do want to talk about like what are the priorities for the first 100 days. That's what everyone talks about when they're on the campaign trail. Is here's the immediate relief I'm going to provide the American people.
I think. Well, we already mentioned we're gonna just take all the money back. So no more money, because money is a burden. Let's be real. I think first 10 days. Because I'm going to break it up a little bit here. First 10 days, I think we're going to take all the loophole people, like the, tax havens and all of that sort of stuff, inside trading that's somehow illegal, all of that stuff. And we're gonna just grab them and we're gonna just put them in jail.
Perfect.
We're gonna take the people that got arrested for like having 10 ounces of weed on their person. We're gonna take them out of jail because they're not doing no one harm, and we're gonna put all the people that are actually doing harm into jail. Do a little swapsies just like that. I think that's step one. And then the next 90 days, we'll all point and laugh at them. Okay, they really got your asses, didn't they?
90 fucking days, 3 whole months.
3 whole months.
People going to their local fucking state
love and
federal penitentiaries, and I'm big into that. I love that. I do think taking the non-violent victimless crimes and releasing everybody, of course, we love reformative justice. We're all about that. I want to turn to things that maybe aren't serious or hotly debated or hotly contested. I think what other policy could we implement in the first 100 days that would give people a sense that they made the right decision? I think that's really what I want to focus on, is making the American people confident that the ticket that they chose, which is the Kazadigi 2024 ticket, is strong. It's one that they can believe in. Of course.
What about this? We really kind of lean into the make America whimsical again sort of side of things. And we implement a law where people can't be serious. There's a certain amount of the time that you can be serious, but there is also a quota of jokes that you need to tell every single day. Interesting. And if you're caught being too serious, we're going to have a word with you. But that's it. We're not actually going to, it's not going to be that serious, because then we're breaking the rules.
So building upon that, would it be a situation where we issue serious licenses to people, where it's like, here are the times that you can be serious? So say like a news station, where if we implemented no serious policy.
I guess there are certain people that do kind of need, that's like their whole job is to be pretty serious. EMTs maybe need to be kind of serious about their job.
I would love to quickly pivot, if you don't mind. I would love to pivot into, what does a newscast look like with your policy implemented where they can't be serious?
Well, I think it looks like that one show on I was gonna call it College Humor, but that's not it anymore.
On Dropout?
Do you know
Breaking News?
Breaking News, yeah. I think it would look a lot like that.
It would. I think
I would watch so much news.
I would too. So maybe this isn't a bad idea.
Maybe some John Olivers, maybe some Stephen Colbert,
some Jon Stewart's, bringing
bringing
back comedy news.
Yeah.
This could be something. I do think
this could be something.
Oh, this is our anything. Have we done it?
This is
6 episodes in.
We got it. We figured it out.
This is
podcast
incredible.
Over.
Podcast done. We've done it. Congratulations, everybody. Wow.
That's tremendous. Wow.
I do think that we do have to have licenses issued for certain entities to be serious, because there are certain things we shouldn't joke about. But outside of that, I do think that if you're not, providing any sort of life-saving care or information, you can be a little goofy silly with it.
Be a little goofy. If I get pulled over for going too fast, you better hit me with a couple jokes,
What joke would you get immediately before? Also, here's your ticket for $350. You have 14 days to pay this.
I don't know if this is necessarily a joke, but about 3 months after I got my driver's license, I got caught for doing 70 and a 35. Oof. That's a whole thing. But anyway, I wanted to mention it was, as safe as going 70 and a 35 could be. It was on an empty road like that.
Okay.
It's not like I was going through a school zone or something.
Yeah, for sure.
The first thing that the cop said to me when he pulled me over was, a little too much zoom in the Mazda. And at the time I was mortified, because I was like, I'm going to jail and I just got my driver's license. But looking back at it now, I bet that guy pulled me over, saw that I was driving a Mazda, and then was just loaded. Yeah, locked and loaded, maybe don't say that with a police officer, but
oh my God.
he had it just like in the chamber ready to go, and the safety was off when he walked to my car.
That's also not a great way to phrase that.
Yeah, and he absolutely annihilated me with that joke. But
yeah, I think
something like that.
I also have
you
a
got
funny
one?
police story.
Oh, great.
I was
Well,
driving.
we love the funny police. Do you think the funny police would be a thing?
Okay, we replace. So, of course, back to talking about restoring our justice system. I do think that replacing all of our current, law enforcement officers at every level, local, state, and federal, with the funny police, where it's just a bunch of people in clown costumes that have like water guns.
I think that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I love that idea.
I think we got some shit done today. I think we might have to come back because, of course, you don't get elected till November?
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing that I didn't consider when we were talking about announcing our candidacy, which was not very long ago.
Which was actually about, like 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, we haven't put as much planning and thought into it as possible. I didn't consider the fact that we're going to have to be campaigning for the next, 4 months?
What if we just do, instead of campaigning for so long, what if people just did one really good one?
Ooh.
Like, because I think the reason people have to keep campaigning is because, like, they're half-assing it because nobody wants to do that. They're not going big enough, and honestly, most political candidates are pretty forgettable. So they have to just be there all the time, be like, vote for me, vote for me. If we just get one really solid advertisement, one really solid sort of thing to put us on the map, I think people will not forget us. We need to be unforgettable.
You're absolutely correct. I do think having just one big spectacle that will keep us in the mind's eye of our electorate versus, doing the whole putting on a face tour and meeting with the rigmarole. People. Yeah, I can't be bothered to do all that. So I do think that we do need to host a massive event that will be viewed by millions. That who do we want to bring on board for that? Because of course, us on our own, we're huge. We're definitely
physically enormous.
we are actually both 25 feet tall,
larger than life. It's
which
crazy.
in and of itself should be a reason enough that people wouldn't forget us. However, just to be on the safe side, because we're so famous, who do we want to bring on with us that is so famous? To be a part of this massive event to get us elected?
I want to say Pitbull, but that's only because the last image that was sent in this Discord is a stretched out picture of Pitbull.
Okay, but I think the people love Pitbull. Even the people who maybe don't like Pitbull's music probably still like Pitbull as a person.
I don't really know if Pitbull's done anything bad, so I don't really want to give him,
we're not
going to
endorse Mr. Worldwide.
No. Assuming Pitbull hasn't done anything egregious, I think Pitbull would be a good choice. I think Taylor Swift, huge. People like Taylor Swift a lot.
I think Taylor Swift is too polarizing at this point in time. I think
what with all the jet travel and
I think it sends a mixed
thousands
message.
Of tons of CO2 into the atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's not what we're about. I think someone along the lines of like a Chappell Roan. That's
interesting.
I think
that's really interesting because I don't know who that is, but I'm really here for that.
Well, congratulations. You are one of the millions of people who recently are learning about Chappell Roan, who is on her way to being the next superstar akin to Taylor Swift, for sure.
Interesting.
She definitely has the talent. She has the pull. She has the young vote. I think people
absolute
would watch
hell of
her.
A vibe too. I am.
Oh, you looked up Chappell Roan.
Can this be our sort of whole political getup?
That's
like
what
I think
I'm
we
saying.
need to dress in a sort of like cool punk sort of like Black Parade-esque way,
and her songs sound like music from the 80s. It's incredible. Big recommend. Big
that sounds
Chappell
tremendous.
Roan fan here, and will strongly advocate to have her as part of our electoral bid. I think her alone would be a pretty substantial get. Other
That's
than that,
huge.
I can't think of anyone else that's important enough. Or
Only Chapel Roan. I think, what if we had like 6 Chapel Roan? One, the real Chapel Roan, and then 5 Chapel Roan lookalikes. And then you have to figure out which one's the real one.
I
American
have to figure
people.
out?
No. American people.
Oh,
We're talking to the people right now. The people, capital T people.
Are we turning this into an American Idol style competition?
I think that if the presidents could show, or if the candidates could show that they're talented in some way, I think that'd be huge for the people.
No,
that would really inspire confidence. Imagine for how sleepy he is, Mr. Joe Biden, Joe Byron, getting up there and absolutely belting one out, you know?
Okay.
Just, I think that'd be tremendous if he had a wonderful voice.
Now, do you think it's too soon to ask Joe if he'll come to our event?
I don't think so. I think, I'll be real with you, I would be so relieved if we dropped out. Because it's stressful. You know, it seems very stressful.
We've been doing this for 40 minutes and you're already stressed.
Well, it's just like, it's a lot. You know, it's a lot of moving parts. And it not only is it a lot of moving parts and a lot of stuff to keep track of, but like it's also a competition, and like, you know, losing kind of sucks just in general. Oh. But then imagine even if you win, like then you still gotta then be president. And that part seems even worse somehow than this part.
I'm going to be so honest. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Hey,
what if we got into office and we were like, actually, this isn't working out. I think I'll go. I'll put in my 2 weeks, but
yeah, 2 weeks of the American people. So yeah, I'm going to just speak for both of us here. I think you and I, our hearts are in the same place, and it's with great sadness that I announced today that we are suspending our campaign for president and President Jr.
Unfortunately, that is something that we responsibly have to do.
Yeah.
Not only because we don't think that we would be fit for office, but also because I am actually not able to be in office.
That neither of us are legally allowed to hold office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just how it's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, you know, I appreciate, though, just the amount of enthusiasm that you had as my running mate for the last 40 minutes. I do.
Yeah, it was honestly tremendous. It was an honor and a privilege.
And in dropping out of this race, I do want to say I have no regrets. With the work that we put in, I do think that the American people strongly rallied around us.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, I know we were the presumptive nominees. There was no one else in the running.
No, and honestly, I call it running for president, but it's honestly a pretty slow walk. So
if we were just like power walking for president at this point.
Is a nice early morning power walk.
Yeah.
We had our arm warmers and leg warmers on, and our headband, keep the sweat out of our eyes.
Yeah, and I mean, in us dropping out, we hope to see, you know, some strong leadership in the future. But just know, you could have had us and you lost us.
You lost us. Honestly, American people, this is your fault.
This is your fault, actually.
This is your fault.
I've completely done a 180. This is not, sadly, like, y'all did this to yourselves.
Y'all did that, yeah. You could have, look at what you could have had. You birdied us.
You birdied us so hard. Why would you do that to us? Hey, you know,
man.
I really did have fun running for president with you.
Yeah. I'm out of breath.
I do want to hang up my politician hat.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah. Do you want to grab a topic hat off the wall and do maybe a topic before we wrap it up?
Topic hat off the wall. So, oh God, there's so much.
There's a lot. There's a lot here for both of us.
What do we want to dig into?
I like what you have here. What if humans had to shed our skin in layers like snakes? So humans do shed their skin.
Correct.
But just in flakes.
Yes.
So are you saying that like the flakes save up and then all just peel off in one good go?
Yeah, you essentially just molt like just one big even shed, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. I was totally normal in a sober state of mind when I wrote that
Yeah,
one, so
for
I
sure. This
obviously
is something
remember what I
completely
meant
normal
by
to think
it.
about.
Um,
Yeah. I think, do you think that people would hold on? You know how like people will sometimes hold on to their snake sheddings
yeah,
as just a cool little curio? Do you think that people, especially for their children, because like some people will keep their baby teeth and stuff,
yep.
will keep their baby skins,
Our
their baby sheds?
skins, our baby skins. I do think
And
so.
you
I do think in the same
just
vein
open
as baby
an
teeth.
old dusty drawer and you're like, oh my God, how cute. And it's like this horrific scene because it is just skins of humans.
It's just a
Um,
crispy skin of a
It's a
fucking
crispy
toddler.
skin. Yeah. But it is like, oh my God, this is from when you were 3. Oh. It's like, wow,
Oh.
that's so adorable and dusty. It'd be so dusty.
I
Oh
guess
my
the other
goodness.
question too is how frequently would humans have to shed their uniskin?
In my mind, it was once a year on their birthday,
On
but it
your
doesn't have to
birthday?
be.
Could you imagine it's your birthday? The worst thing that could happen to you is your whole body looks disgusting until you take your skin off.
Because I don't really like to celebrate my birthday just in general. I
Oh.
like celebrating other people's birthday, but I don't. So it'd be troubling for me because like leading up to my birthday, you would know that it was my birthday was coming up. You would see it, my skin starts getting all kind of weird and baggy in places. Be like, oh my God, when's your birthday? And like, in June. Why are you shedding now then?
It's like you see someone you haven't seen in like a couple weeks and they just look
Yeah.
radiant and you're like, fuck, I missed your birthday.
Like, oh. Yeah, that's heart sinking feeling. Or you see someone you haven't seen for a while and you see that they're about to like shed and you're like, oh my God, I gotta go run out and get a gift for them real quick. What's the best gift you could get for someone that sheds that
Lotion.
majorly? Lotion? Actually, lotion would be pretty huge.
Lotion just
Do you
kind
think
of
everyone
rules.
would just like a lot of the time you get like some socks or like underwear or whatever, and like when you were a kid you're like, oh, this sucks, I wanted toys. But now as an adult, when you get those, you're like, sick, I don't have to go out and buy socks and underwear now.
Yeah.
You think that's what the same sort of vibe it would be like with lotion? As a kid, you get some lotion, you're like, I don't want lotion. I want toys. But then as an adult, you're like, fuck yeah, lotion.
Me in my
So,
30s, I'm like, bless. I didn't want to have to buy this for myself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
my
I think
next
that'd be a very
question
similar
to
vibe.
you,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which do you start shedding at your head or your feet?
Ooh.
How do you get this shed off is the question. And what's the best place to start? What's the least terrifying? I feel like starting at the head is so scary.
I feel like it's very scary, but it would also probably be the most reasonable way to do it.
True.
But I do think that just, by you wearing shoes and walking around on your feet, it would just naturally kind of start at your feet. You imagine how good it would feel to pull your shed off,
Yeah.
It'd be like at the end of the day, you like get home from the gym or whatever, you're like super sweaty and you like peel off, or like after suiting, you pull off that Under Armour and you're like, oh, freedom.
Oh wait, you're on to something, because if it
I
feels
think it would
anything
feel
like
so
taking off
good.
a fursuit,
Yeah.
I'm in.
And then imagine how like perfect and smooth your skin would be for the couple weeks after. You would like be glowing.
Okay.
That'd be tremendous.
I had a crazy thought, and it's that the conspiracy theorists cannot listen to this episode because we made ourselves political candidates and then inferred that we could be lizard people all in the same fucking episode. And I think that's wild.
Now that you bring it up, that's a very good point. I don't think there's anything wrong with lizard people.
No, I don't think so either. And I think anyone that would have a problem with lizard people needs to stop.
I think it's kind of messed up that that so many people seem to have problems with lizard people. Like, that's kind of speciesist if you think about it. It's 2024.
If we had the option of putting someone in office who was non-human, I'm game. I'm down to see what the lizard people do. I would love to know how our country looks in comparison.
It would be kind of wild if we had a lizard person in president before a woman. Generally,
that's real.
I think I think that would kind of really, really show, just collective humanity's sort of where their priorities lie, which
Our
kind
collective
of kind of be a
misogyny, which
bummer.
is kind of really not great.
Yeah, that's kind of an L.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I think that there is a place for it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm still really caught up on how good it would feel to shed a lizard skin.
It would be the best, like, because I think once you start shedding, how like when you get a sunburn and you start to peel, sometimes you get like those bubbles of like sweat built up underneath your peeling skin, and it's like really gross.
This is the nastiest episode.
It's so like the visuals are poor.
Good.
But like imagine that, you're kind of like just like feel gross, and then time to peel. It's like whoosh, you just pull it off, and you're like, oh, freedom.
So that kind of sounds like when I go to take my estrogen. I'll have a day where I'm just like, I feel like shit. I feel disgusting and just sad. And then I'll look at the calendar and be like, that's why. So it's just like, it's a nice reset. I love the more that we talk about it, the more I'm like, damn, that just sounds infinitely better than what we were currently handed.
I totally agree. And then we could be like the lizards and eat them.
Oh, now you've lost me just a little bit.
I'm sure that there would be some sickos out there. I shouldn't say sickos, like you do you, but I think it's kind of weird. I think there would be some people that would totally like make a cookbook around that. Like there is that one cookbook about cum,
Yeah. And there are
I think
ones
someone
about
would do
like
it
the
with
placenta.
skins.
So
Yeah. I think there would be some people out there that'd be like, yeah, I mean, you can eat it. And it's like, for sure, you could.
You could.
But you don't have to. It's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. I didn't think about it. And if I'm being entirely honest, I hope I never do again. I hope it's just not something I think about.
I think now that it's out there, I will never think about this ever again. And when someone brings it up, I think I will just pretend like I didn't hear it.
That's so real. That sounds so good. I would love the opportunity to, especially around like work culture. It's like, guys, I can't come in today. It's
my
the day.
shed. It's my day.
It's shed day.
Sorry.
I wonder,
shed day.
Because of the nature of, an additional layer of skin that maybe would be inconvenient. Do you get like a sabbatical near the end of that? Like before you shed, your work just says, yeah, you can have like this 2-month period off and then come back.
How long do you think a shed's going to take?
I don't know.
I thought it would just be like you kind of get all gross looking, and then a day later you just peel everything off and you're good to go. Although I feel like maybe your skin would be pretty sensitive. So maybe you do need to just kind of like chill for like a week or two.
Yeah, because you have this new layer of skin that's been exposed to nothing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
On that note.
This fucking rules. I'm gonna think about that more than is healthy for sure.
Yeah. I think I'll think about it for about a day, and then I'll forget that we had this conversation and I'll listen to the podcast.
That's so real.
But
that's why we do this
show,
to be honest.
Yeah, that's why we do this show.
I think now is a great time to ask our wonderful listening audience and watching audience, audio watchers. I see you. I hear you. I appreciate you. We actually have an email that you can send your Is This Anythings to. It is, hey guys, is this anything at gmail.com? Because let's be real, we can only think of so many Is This Anythings. And I know for a fact, I've had multiple people say, I have Is This Anythings for you. And I have
actually had people reach out to me as well. And it's really great hearing those because they make me laugh.
I say,
don't
send them to me yet. I say, wait, because you can send them to us via our email and then we can address them on the show. So I've got a few probably waiting in the wings. But yeah, you can send your Is This Anythings to, hey guys, is this anything at gmail.com, and we will go through and determine which ones are acceptable to read on the air.
Yeah. Also, another piece of housekeeping, starting next episode.
Oh yeah.
episodes will come out on Fridays, which maybe we should have mentioned at the start of the podcast. But
that's okay. We can.
This will be only for people that listen. This is for the real ones that listen all the way to the end.
This is for the real ones. And if we're being honest, if we're gonna switch the day we're doing this, 6 episodes in, totally ideal.
Yeah, not immediately after the first episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So at Fridays. So this episode that you're listening to right now is out on Monday or close to the Monday, depending on things that happen. And then look forward to another episode on Friday.
You're getting 2, baby.
You're getting 2 this week.
Episodes this week, and
isn't that huge?
It is huge. Much like us, the 25 feet tall politicians.
25 feet tall politicians.
Former politicians. Sorry.
Former yeah. So Fridays. Also send us emails with your Is This Anythings, because we would love to hear them, and you might hear them on the show.
You might. We ask that you kind of keep it to Is This Anythings if possible. You can send us other stuff too, and we might laugh at it. But yeah. Yeah,
but it probably won't be on the show. But Is This Anythings will have a much higher chance of being on the show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but I think on that note, you're totally right. It is This Anything time. Okay. Boba tea, but instead of the what are they called? The bobas.
Boba balls.
What are they made out of?
Tapioca.
Tapioca. Yeah, the tapioca instead of the tapioca balls.
This is a good one. It's boba, one for the books.
Okay. It's boba tea, but instead of like tapioca pearls, it's like it's little marbles, and you don't eat them. They just kind of go around and they bounce off your teeth.
They make that marble sound, like when you got a handful of marbles.
Yeah. Is that anything?
Okay. No, it really that one really isn't anything. But what about this? Union busting. It's what happens when unions are your fetish.
Oh, fuck. I think that one might be uniquely funny to me in ways that it can't be funny to anyone else. But I do think that's something. And on that note, this has been another episode of Hey Guys.
Is this anything?
All right. Bye. See you on Friday.
Bye.